If I never called you up to the mountaintop, how would you know me? And if when I came down from the top of the mountain in the arms of Moses, he broke me. And then when I came down the second time in the arms of Moses, you broke me. Now, wouldn't it only make sense that once I come through the laws that Dr. Martin Luther King gave me and he spoke to you on the last day on the earth, right? Now, wouldn't I then come in the flesh, but wouldn't I then be the written word? See, if I am now coming to you as a lawsuit in the flesh, and I am the victim as well as the lawyer for the victim, then am I not fulfilled? So if you was a victim, then wouldn't I be the case that your lawyer used to defend you? But anyway, so now this is what I'm doing, what Dr. Martin Luther King said I would do, or what you all should have done when he see, I'm reading straight from his thing. So this is him. Now this is delivered April 3rd, 1968 in the Mason Temple Church of God in Christ headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee. The next day, he was assassinated on the balcony of the Lorraine Hotel. Now, here I wasn't born until January 8th, 1969 at 2:20 in the afternoon. So now, that means that he was killed April 4th, 1968. So now you can't count that day, so we got the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, right? That's 3 days. Now, I was born January 8th, so that's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. See, that's 9 months, right? Because you can't say the 8th because that's the day I came. So if he left the 4th, you can't say the 4th. So you got to say the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. I came the 8th. So that's 3 days of transition. So from his words to my flesh, then 9 months of developing in the womb of my mother in the ovaries, and then coming out of my mother's womb exactly 9 months later. Now, but when at 39, the same age he was, I then fulfilled the everything he said that you all who walk with him should have done. And this is what I'm saying about the disciples of Jesus or the disciples of the Prophet Muhammad. Why are we so far away from what they told you? So now here I'm talking about those who walk with Minister Malcolm X. See, he said, take them to the world court. And I'm saying they keeping me out of the world court. See, I'm saying, well, look, I did what your religious teachers said that you should have done and that he wanted to do because they brought me to you all when they stole my property, and then I emancipated you all because I'm believe that I am who I believe that I am, right? Now, you say it's God, and I'm saying I am who I am, right? I'm saying you say, but I'm saying, have you been to the mountaintop and met me? And so if you don't go to court, how do you know me? You haven't been to the mountaintop. Moses broke me at the base of the mountaintop the first time. Then he went back up and got me again and came down, and then you broke me. And so I fixed me. right? I reestablished myself in words, just like Moses established me in words, in a lawsuit against you for violating the 10 Commandments that Moses brought down from Mount Sinai and the laws that you established based off of the 10 Commandments that's supposed to keep this world in order. So now, how would I look in the flesh if this how I look? Now, why would you change me? Because you changed my written formation. But how can you change my written formation now if I wrote it myself and I didn't write it on the top of the mountain? I wrote it inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida. And I submitted it to your lawyers for the state of Florida, your attorney general for the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning. And then I took it federal in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida when I then gave it to your federal attorney general on February 20th, 2018 at 9:20 in the morning when I served your president by affidavit. I don't understand why you saying that I am not who I say I am, but you say who God is by definition. And I'm saying, well, I fit that description to a T. See, your God by definition is defined as the being perfect in power, wisdom, goodness, who is worshiped as in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism as a creator and ruler of the universe. See, that's your definition. See, but I say, and this has been proven by me as truth, for which is defined as the body of real things, events, and facts, as well as a judgment, proposition, or idea that is true or accepted as true, as well as the body of true statements and propositions inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, as well as inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, that I am the being for whom is perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is legally, historically, biblically, religiously, spiritually, financially, mentally, and federally worshipped by the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the 10 Commandments, the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and history in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida ever since August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning, as well as on September 16th at 2023, September 16th in 2023 at 6:36 in the morning, for which is when I am now calling Dr. Martin Luther King to the stand from his last speech given on, see, this is history now. And so I'm showing that I am who came down in the arms of Moses as written words. Then I am proving that I am who Dr. Martin Luther King was speaking of before he was assassinated. Because this is his words when he said, "Thank you very kindly, my friends, as I listened to Robert Abernathy and his eloquent and generous introduction and then thought about myself. I wonder who he was talking about. It's always good to have your closest friend and associate to say something good about you." See, that's what I thought my friends and my closest associates was going to say something good about me when Satan, for whom is defined as the angel who in Jewish belief is commanded by God to tempt humans to sin, to accuse the sinners, and to carry out God's punishment. And then the second version, which I am dealing with both, is the rebellious angel who in Christian belief is the adversary of God and the Lord of evil. See, when I prove that I'm the God that's the being perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, and who is worshipped by the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Florida Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the United States Declaration of Independence, statutory law, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964 inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, before I even knew anything about the Bible or Quran. I never read none of that stuff, history even, you know. I mean, I knew what other people said. That's why I read over 100 books. See, I read over 100 books as I was making my case. See, so I didn't know about your history until after I made my history. And I can show you where I didn't go to your schools. I went through your schools, but I was in there teaching you. And then I went to the military, I was teaching them, and now I'm teaching y'all. I never stopped teaching, so when did I learn? See, I'm saying if I'm learning now and I'm teaching you what I've learned, when did you teach me? You done stopped me as you stopping me now from teaching. See, but the teachers was saying I was the classroom clown, or the kids was laughing, but the teachers knew that I wasn't a clown. They was like, man, he like Minister Malcolm X was when he was in prison talking to the preacher, and he was telling him his own history. See, that's how I was doing, saying, when you say this, but you say this, but what about this? And see, they don't want to talk about this, even though you said it. And I'm saying, well, if you speaking about these people, why are you speaking about them as if they're not people? So now, see, that's what I'm saying. So if I'm supposed to prove I'm a person, and now my people is not testifying to me like Dr. Martin Luther King was talking about Robert Abernathy, see, I'm asking, well, where my close friends? Where my family? And then now he talking about us. I'm saying, well, what y'all talking about me? I mean, you telling me for 15 years you ain't said nothing, but now I'm saying, well, hey man, you don't remember I came to you here, but now you mad with me, and I'm saying, well, man, I need a witness. But now you want to witness to Jesus, but you don't want to witness to me. Now, and you scared to do business with me, but you will go to church with a preacher telling you about heaven. And I'm saying, well, how do he know? The Bible said. Well, I'm saying, well, when I tell you about you ain't no preacher, I'm saying, well, who make the preacher a preacher? And I'm saying, well, look, man, I'm telling you, I went to court. I mean, oh man, I don't want to hear that. What? But you want to hear about Jesus being nailed on the cross, but you don't want to hear me say that I defended Jesus, because there's no statute of limitations on murder, and this church right here is using Jesus' name in vain, but you mad with me. I'm saying, well, listen, Jesus was saying that this church this temple right here was turning his father's house into a place of merchandise. Look, but now you mad with me for saying, hey man, this Macedonian Missionary Baptist Church in Edenville, Florida has turned Jesus' name into a merchandise. But now when I tell you I have turned myself into merchandise, and I can show you my book, right? See, I can show you my merchandise. See, this my merchandise right here. Right? Now, but they selling Jesus, right? In words. But now here's my word. See, that's my name. This the gift. That's my hands. That's my company. Right? This is the devil in the details of my testimony. But you don't want to talk about who did this, but you want to say that I couldn't write this. But what I'm saying, if I didn't write this, then he wouldn't have had it, or it wouldn't have had to show itself in my testimony. But now you say that I'm a bad investment, but Jesus is a good investment because he was crucified. But now you listen to Dr. Martin Luther King after you assassinated him on a balcony. See what I'm saying? So now when do you get charged with murder? See, you murder, but yet the people don't get what you kill a person for. So now I'm going to go down to, see, because like I say, it's real long here. So I'm going to go get some stuff here. Okay, now what? Look, this is what he said somewhere down up in here. We need all of you. And you know what's beautiful to me is to see all of these ministers of the gospel. It's a marvelous picture. Who is it that is supposed to articulate the longings and aspirations of the people? Now, articulate. See, you know, like I say, because they use these big old words, and then y'all just be shaking your head and you don't know what they talking about. Now, articulate. Let me make sure I...
Articulate.
Well, what? Wait, hold on. Now, look. Now, he say articulate.
Articulate.
Lit. Now, but look. Articulate. That's late. But he say lit. Look at this here.
Articulate.
See? Articulate. What? That's late. But anyway, all right. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying with the pronunciation, it get me pissed off. But because I'm looking at this sounding it out. And lait is late. If you late for your job, that's how late is spelled. Now, I don't know how if you sound it out, all of a sudden it's not articulate, it's articulate. I don't understand it, but hey, okay, cool. But it's expressing oneself readily, clearly, and effectively. So that's what I did in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida. And then I wrote it readily, clearly, and then I lived my life so effectively that when I gave it to the state attorney, then the racism that was hidden in the justice system's identity was then revealed to me. So that's when I saw, once I came down from the top of the mountain, what was going on in the judgment hall. So why wouldn't I then write myself in its proper form? So see, that's me showing you clearly that I am who was at the top of the mountain, who came and manifested himself in written words in the place where your Jesus Christ was crucified. See, he was first judged before he was sentenced. See, so when they tried to sentence me without proper judgment, I judged them properly, and now they don't want to be sentenced. See, so I did not call them up to Mount Sinai like Moses. I had to come down from Mount Sinai like Moses and set the law straight, because they broke the law. So you couldn't hear me through your cries and prayers, because they was beating you with me, the written word. So I had to come in human form and then put my words in action. And now I have nobody to carry out the actions of my words. See, but you would kill me on the word of a serpent, a Satan, who has a God, who is now a rebellious angel inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida ever since August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida ever since February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning. And now I'm telling you now on September 16th in 2023 at 6:48 in the morning that Satan's God and Satan is loose in your hoods, your projects, your communities, your schools, your colleges, your universities, your churches, your temples, your synagogues, your mosques, your detention centers, your jails, and your prisons all over the world. And now I'm giving you what Dr. Martin Luther King said. See, now he's now, who is it that is supposed to articulate the longings and aspirations of the people more than the preacher? So how the preacher, somehow the preacher must have a kind of fire shot up in his bones. And whenever injustice is around, he tells it. Somehow the preacher must be as Amos and say, when God speaks, who can be prophecy? No, wait, when God speaks, who can but prophecy? Again with Amos, let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Somehow the preacher must say with Jesus, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me, and his anointed me to deal with the problems of the poor. And I want to commend the preachers under the leadership of these noble men, James Lawson, one who has been in this struggle for many years. He's been to jail for struggling. He's been kicked out of Vanderbilt University for this struggle, but he's still going on, fighting for the rights of his people. Reverend Ralph Jackson, Billy Kills. I could just go right on down the list, but time would not permit. But I want to thank all of them, and I want you to thank them, because so often preachers aren't concerned about anything but themselves. And I'm also happy to see a reviving ministry. Hold on, but let me see. I messed up. I be, man, when I hear that kind of stuff and I hear preachers saying that about preachers, man, it just, I got to get back on track. So I have to look at this thing, I got to get my mind back right. See, because, like I say, man, I see what he see, and I shouldn't see it because he saw it. And I shouldn't have to fight what he fought, man. That just don't make sense to me. So hold on.
Relevant.
And that would get me, because I'm saying they not relevant. And I'm saying that can't be relevant. He can't say that, but that's what I'm saying. And I be so emotional. But hey, this is beautiful, man. But anyway, he said relevant. Having sufficient and demonstrable. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Come on now. Not that bastard don't want to see.
Demonstrable.
Demonstrable. Okay, that's now demonstrable it's a DEMONSTRABLE. So that's
demonstrable.
Demonstrable. Okay, and that's capable of being demonstrated or whatever. Let's see. Now I don't want to go. Okay, there it just went. So let's see what it says.
Demonstrate.
Oh, that's some book. How you no? That's the, okay. Look, it's DEMONSTRAT. That now how that demonstrate, but not, and the other one is not. See, but okay, cool. All right, demonstrated, demonstrate, but it didn't say. Wait a minute, hold on, man. This pissing me off anyway. Hold on.
Demonstrable.
The same word. It's the same thing other than, okay, now, hold on. Wait a minute, this piss, wait. See, this is what pissed me off with the,
Demonstrate.
it's the same word. It don't say demonstrable. It say demonstrable, but it's the same. Okay, but cool, man. All right, it's me. Put it on me. Because I done argue about that enough. See, that's what I'm saying. See, when I was in school, this just what I be doing. Like, hey, man, no, man, that don't make no sense. So it's like I'm in school again, arguing with y'all again. But hey, y'all right. But look, I know what it means, okay? It says to show clearly. See, so that's what I'm saying, demonstrate. I know, and I'm saying demonstrate, but it said demonstrate or what. I was like, what? Come on, man. But anyway, let me stop. Let me get back to what I'm doing. All right, so, now, this is what I'm saying, wait a minute, okay, now, okay, yeah, relevant ministries. Man, I went to them where they at, but anyway, it's all right to talk about long white robes over yonder in all of its symbolism. But ultimately, people want some suits and dresses and shoes to wear down here. It's all right to talk about streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children who can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day God's preachers must talk about the new New York, the new Atlanta, the new Philadelphia, the new Los Angeles, the new Memphis, Tennessee. This is what we have to do. See, so this is what I'm saying. How can I repeat what was said if I don't do what was supposed to be done? So he said it in words. I did it in actions and then used the law to then establish myself as the doer of what Dr. Martin Luther King said. So see, I am the fulfillment of his prophecy. See, and this is what I'm saying about the ministers who walk with these ministers. Why are you against me? But you against me for all reasons that every man who's supposed to be powerful is against another powerful man. Because see, I am a man of powerful actions and you are a man of powerful words. And that's the difference. See, I am a doer of power. You are a speaker of power. See, that's why you speak to powerful people and I bring powerful people down. Because I am more powerful than they can ever imagine, only if I had the people. See, you got the people speaking power to people who have no power. But only if you knew what was true, then you would be truly powerful. See, but anyway, so now I say now, the other thing we have to do is this. Always anchor our eternal direct action with power of economic withdrawal. Now, we are poor people. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with the white society in America. We are poor. Never stop and forget that collectively. That means all of us together. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world, with the exception of 9. Did you ever think about that? After you leave the United States, the Soviet Union, Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I could name the others, the American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? That's power right there if we know how to pool it. We don't have to argue with anybody. We don't have to curse and go around acting bad with our words. We don't need any bricks and bottles. We don't need any Martell cocktails. Martell cocktails. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive institutions in our country and say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. And we've come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. And so, as a result of this, we are asking you tonight to go out and tell your neighbors not to buy Coca-Cola in Memphis. Go by and tell them not to buy Seal Test milk. Tell them not to buy, what is that other bread? Wonder Bread. And what is the other bread company, Jesse? Tell them not to buy Hart's bread, as Jesse Jackson just said. See? So now, is not Reverend Jesse Jackson like Matthew was to Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee? He was in Memphis, Tennessee, pointing when they shot him in the neck. So wouldn't he be like Matthew, who was there when they nailed Jesus on the cross? So now why am I being crossed out of the blessing that Reverend Jesse Jackson was with was with Dr. Martin Luther King when he said all these elegant words, and he asked him personally, who was it? Here it is right here. See, now this Jesus, to me, this Jesus talking to his disciple, and I done seen his disciple. And I know this man right here, Reverend Jesse Jackson. I know him. I ain't get to see Dr. Martin Luther King, but I saw Jesse Jackson. Okay, he said, tell them not to buy Hart's bread, as Jesse Jackson has said. Up to now, only the garbage men have been feeling pain. Now we must kind of redistribute the pain. We are choosing these companies because they haven't been fair in their hiring practices. And we are choosing them because they can begin the process of saying they are going to support the needs and the rights of these men who are on strike. And then they can move on town. And then they can move on, and it say town downtown, but I think move downtown. But you can't change it. So this is what this is what I'm saying. Even in my transcripts, if I mistype, it is what it is. So it said move on town, downtown, and tell Mayor Loeb, Loeb, to do what is right. So now, I went inside of the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida. I told the United States Postal Service it wasn't dealing right with the union, nor with my union brothers and sisters, my letter carriers. And then I realized that these businesses wasn't doing right by the citizens. So by me being the written word who came down from Mount Sinai to the newly free Israelites, why would I now leave my people enslaved as if I am not the word that came down from Mount Sinai? So now here is my testimony, like Moses' Torah. Here's my Torah. See, for which is defined as, and then this is it. See, the book of wisdom and law contained in Jewish scripture and other sacred literature and oral traditions. See, so this is my Torah. It's my book of wisdom.